Alright, so we're doing a lot with Corflute today, and while a couple of friends sort of scoffed at this, and I haven't seen it used before, but and look, let's face it, it's not the best thing in terms of fire safety, but Corflute in this situation has done a wonderful job for me. Here you can see, and coming out from that little spot there, I've used just a slim line piece of Corflute. They previously carpeted these wood panels, these original insert panels and protection panels supplied by Mercedes inside my Sprinter. I've covered them with carpet, we've reattached them. Not the most amazing job, we'll go back and revisit that, but here's the innovation. There's a sheet of Corflute. Now it gets much better than this. So if you can see there, 5mm white Corflute, plastic, and relatively strong in this situation. I've just used it to hide, I'll show you what's happened over here, to hide those slots there. So we've got quite a finish going on there, but this is what's really good, is these are offcuts and the final bits in what has become a perfect sheet. What I've actually done is found a plastic supplier who've supplied this single sheet. It's about 3,200, I think, in the end that was supplied, 3,200 as a sheet, single sheet, and I think it came through at about 1,600 wide, so there's plenty of offcut to make these thin strips that have actually become the ceiling inside my Sprinter. So upstairs, you can't see it now, but if you look at my prior videos, you can see that we've put rock wool, 50mm rock wool core or bat type product into the ceiling panels, slotted nice and neatly between the ribs of the roof line, and simply to hide it. Not the most amazing thing, that rock wool is glued up, so it should stay there pretty well, but just to give us a nice neat finish, what we've done is actually gone and cut down and been able to attach this sheet above this actual metal rim here. This is just a very basic little $20 metal trim that came in a length of 3 meters, so virtually perfect for the excursion. Has actually gone up and actually been screwed in to hold the centerpiece of this single sheet of Corflute up into the ceiling of the Sprinter. So really nice neat finish, rather interesting sort of texture as you see with the slight plastic ribbing in it. Easy to clean, easy to maintain, and what was it, $32 Australian? And that's the retail price. I'm sure I could have asked for better than that. But what actually gets better about this, and I'll turn it on so you can see it in action, I've actually had already tucked, laying around in the van, a nice 3-meter LED strip, and what you see there. Now we'll probably get down and diffuse that with something in the end, but as you can see here, I've been able to wedge that LED strip up into it. Did have a glue backing, but that has got weak, but I've just pressed it up in there for now, and as you see, nice LED down the length of the van, bringing feature to this this project as I get to some sort of point. I'm going to finish this now, and it's just to show you here, but we're going to squeeze this rest of this Corflute paneling in here. We've also got a simple little off-cut piece of Corflute holding up the metal trim that I've actually, another length of these 3-meter trims, another piece of this 3-meter aluminium U-shape. A little bit dirty there, I'll have to clean that up, but I'm just holding this all up in place once again with another piece of Corflute just wedged up in there, so notwithstanding an overturning accident or something like that, this stuff should actually hold in place and hold that nice curve. It's all relative. I could probably work that a little bit, probably end up with a bit of trim wood or something like that to induce the curve at the back end, and likewise just tidy up the front end here. But really happy with what's happened with the ceiling here in my Sprinter in this little project just before we go off into the next part of life, and I thought I'd share this with because it's quite significant for me. So there you go, piece of Corflute, 3,200 long, 1,600 wide, offcuts, whole roof done in one sheet. And that's so much easier than other things I've seen that I've used. And look, they're beautiful, the other things I've seen, but this is done in one piece of sheet and done in about an hour flat. So that's not bad for a piece of roof. Nice and light as well. And actually, because it is cellular, of course, we looked at that cross section in the start of the video, and that's where I guess we'll end, is that actually is effectively another insulation layer there underneath the rock wall. So if that doesn't solve things cheaply and simply, then I'm not making this video. Appreciate your comments. See you next time.